issued by pro-secessionist groups, the indigenous people of Biafra, and the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra has been largely successful. In most of the states in the southeast, activities were almost ground to a halt, with marketplaces deserted. Our next report takes a look at the sit-at-home order and how it's been observed in the southeast.
Activities in Owerri, the Imo state capital, have ground to a halt. Vehicles and people can be seen on major roads, but markets like the popular Ekonuwa Douglas Market, shops and business premises are under lock and key. Most banks are not open for business.
The streets may not be too busy, but people who have things to do are doing them, and they are not being molested. The IG had before today said that a situation where people make utterances directing people to disobey a sovereign constituted authority amounts to an illegality.
Most shops in Abakaliki, the Ebonyi state capital, are closed, and traders, now with free time on their hands, can be seen discussing in groups. In Umahia, Abia State, car parks are devoid of passengers, and there are long lines of disappointed customers outside banks amidst tight security. It appears to be a total lockdown in Enugu. Markets, shops and stalls are deserted.
Today marks the 50th anniversary of the declaration of Biafra. So every indigenous Biafra, especially the Igbos, the Southeast region, honoring the day.
People used to have a slogan that Igbos are not in peace, they are not loving one another. But this is a show up to the world that Igbos are, so they are one. And we are ready and resolute to get our freedom.
The Enugu State Commissioner of Police says, however, that the evidence of tight security has convinced banks and business owners to resume transactions. There is total compliance in Oka, the Anambra State capital, where vehicular movement is low and indigents appear to have taken a holiday. The usually busy Enugu-Onitsha expressway is almost deserted and business premises are locked. Loyalists who can be seen in clusters are happy with the level of compliance to the sitting order. This is the popular and ever-busy Asaba-Onitsha bridge. Today, it's carrying only a small fraction of its daily weight. Security agents stand at the ready to quell any disturbance, while daily paid workers and those with pressing appointments lament the situation.
When I came out, everywhere is scanty. It affected the people into the transport industry. So we are still observing. I don't know yet if we are still going to go back to Lagos today, if they are going to move or not.
The agitators for a sovereign state are hoping to achieve their dream, no matter how long it takes.
To be a high level of compliance with a no movement directive by the Movement for the Actualization of the Sovereign State of Biafra, MASOB, in Nigeria's southeast states. The group, alongside the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, had issued an order asking residents to sit at home today, May the 30th, to mark the 50th anniversary of Biafra and mourn those killed in the civil war that lasted from 1967 to 1970. As a result, streets of major towns in several states in the region have been deserted as residents observed the order, with schools, markets and offices shut. In Enugu State, residents, especially traders, are said to have complied with the order despite warnings by the Nigerian police force that the order was illegal and an infringement on fundamental rights of citizens. Our correspondents say the same level of compliance is observed in major towns in Anambra, Imo and Abia states, with streets deserted. Banks are also reported to have closed for the day, while in some places residents could be seen in groups discussing the development. In Ebonyi State, there was very little compliance with the order as residents were seen going about their businesses.
Today marks the 50th anniversary of the declaration of Biafra. So every indigenous Biafra, especially the Igbos, the Southeast region, honoring the day. So we are participating today as one of our greatest days.
We are praying that God we see them through. And at last, we get Biafra. That is the aim and the objective of what we are doing. That Biafrans are one. And we have a leader that leads us. Nnamdi Kanu.
I'm proud to be a Biafran. So I love the situation on ground. And I thank God, and thank God it's a peaceful demonstration. They should give us the freedom. For us to be at least, we have been struggling for years. As a citizen of Nigeria, now we have come to be to know that yes, we are a Biafran. Then they should allow us, and we should go.
Full of compliance to the sit-down order is that to make sure, because people used to have a slogan that Igbos are not in peace, they are not loving one another. But this is a show up to the world that Igbos are, so they are one. And we are ready and resolute to get our freedom.
Let's get more on this story from our correspondent in Imo State, Tope Kuti. You're welcome to the program.
Yeah, good evening.
Give us a feel of what the day has been like in your area.
Yeah, this is Imo State, the Eastern Heartland. And if there's any state in the southeast where people are really anxious to know what is happening, because it's the Eastern Heartland and it is Imo State. And if I say it's about 95% compliance, I might not be wrong, because the streets here especially in Owerri, the Imo State capital, is just like the normal day where the federal government declares public holiday. Major markets are shut, big supermarkets are shut, banks are under lock and key, especially on the bank road in Owerri, where we have various banks. They are shut under lock and key. Even though there are some other banks within town where they run skeletal services, where people go through the back to do their businesses. Schools are also closed down. Even when I visited the state secretariat in Owerri, there are skeletal services, It's serious, it's not business as usual. Today, it's not business as usual. And the popular Ikenebu business layout, which is one of the busiest business hubs in the city, was deserted. The popular Ekelnoa market, also known as Douglas Market, was closed down. Only people selling some perishable goods were seen there. All shops on Weather Road were closed, But there is normal movement of persons and vehicles from one point to the other without any form of molestation and harassment. So like I said here, like I said earlier, 95% compliance, because normally the capital city of Imo State, which is Owerri, is always a very busy city on a normal day, but today it's not business as usual.
But what exactly is the purpose of this sit-at-home order, if I may ask?
Yes, come again, please.
What exactly is the purpose of this sit-at-home order? Is it just to celebrate the anniversary of Biafra for the call, or what else are they agitating for?
Yeah, this morning when I spoke to one of the leaders of MASOB and IPOB, his name is Uche Madu. He said this day is established to mark the golden jubilee of the declaration of Biafra by the late Igbo leader Odimegwu Ojukwu. And it's also an honor to celebrate the gallantry of Biafran soldiers who died during the war 50 years ago. And also an honor to the people of Biafra. And he said with this compliance and demonstration today, it's clear to the international community and the Nigerian government that the people of Biafra are willing to stay alone, And he said the IPOB and MASOB, they're preparing a referendum very soon. And when they are done with the referendum, they will make it known to the federal government of Nigeria.
Right, thank you so much for your thoughts on that. Channel CV correspondent in Imo State, Tope Kuti, reporting there.